Hi guys and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be testing Poundland makeup, or some makeup that I also picked up from the own Sainsbury's makeup brand that was also a pound, because Poundland don't have a great range of makeup. And just in addition to this, I'm really sorry about our slow uploads the past week. We've had some technical problems with our editing, but also, as you could hear, I'm very sick, so I'm just going to power through and get this up because I know it's already going to be a little bit late. So apologies if I sound a little bit manly today. So I have cheated a little bit. Neither Sainsbury's own brand or Poundland had any brow products, so I have just quickly done my brows with my Benefit Goof Proof pencil. But apart from that, everything else, as far as I know, did cost me £1. So to start off with, sorry, I lied. They didn't have a primer either, so I'm going to be using my Collection Primed and Ready primer. I'm pretty sure this cost £2, so it's not like I'm breaking the bank at all. I'm just massaging this all into my skin in the hope that it will help my foundation stick in. To start with is my foundation. This was from Poundland and it's the Manhattan Fresher Skin foundation in True Ivory with an SPF 15. Not that I need it in this weather now, but might be good. It says it gives a shine-free finish and does not clog your pores, so let's give it a go. Comes in a little pot like this. I'm not going to kind of show you the contents because it looks a bit gammy. Also looks a little bit too dark for me, but there we go. I have actually got two foundations, so I am gonna do a half and half. I'm using the Real Techniques Beauty Blender. The only thing I will say is this foundation, I don't know what it smells like, but it don't smell good. But it is blending out really easily. However, it says it's not supposed to clog pores. I can see every little imperfection on my face. So that's all blended out. I mean, I thought it was going to be too dark, but it's okay. It's definitely going to crease inside my smile lines, but it's a pretty good colour match. But I can see all of my pores completely, so as much as it doesn't clog my pores, it definitely highlights them. And the other foundation I'll be testing, which was from Poundland, which is the TIGI. Again, I've never heard of this brand. It's called the Whipped Foundation. It literally feels like chocolate mousse. I don't know if this is actually going to go on my face. Oh! Oh, it's crumbling. Okay, right. That's pretty much gone straight on my face and fell straight off again. I literally like swirled my finger in it. I'll try and give you a close up, but that's what it's turned to. So that's a no to testing two foundations, because apparently Poundland don't check sell by dates. So we're just going to go back in with that original foundation from Manhattan, which definitely looks more my colour, thank God, and hope that it can cover up some spots on the other side as well. I've got a lot of breakouts right along my hairline here. I'm not usually a spotty person, but when I'm ill, my skin just goes to complete shit, as probably most of yours does as well. As much as this foundation does smell pretty rank, it's really lightweight, so I've got to give it that. And it's probably the best colour match foundation for £1 I think I've ever had. And considering my skin is really hard to colour match when we're coming out of summer, that one is okay. Now that I've put it over my entire face, I can notice that it has gone really, really cakey, and it is already starting to set into my smile lines, so I can't slate it too much. I mean, just on my general cheeks it's not bad, but they're going to set into my smile lines quite quickly. Now for concealer is the Poundland own brand. It's called Max and More. It's just a liquid concealer in a little pot. They literally had one shade. This is very pink toned, and I usually use quite a yellow toned concealer because I have slightly more yellowy skin, but I'm going to work with what we've got. Also, this applicator is tiny, and I know most of you are going to scream at me through this tutorial because I only put concealer underneath my eyes, but I'm not into the whole concealing around my nose and all that jazz. I'm going to blend that out. This concealer is blending out really, really well. It's not as pinky toned. Once it's blended out, it's actually blended into the foundation quite well. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. The next thing we're going to go on to is setting powder. This again is the the Poundland Max and More setting powder. So I'm just going to go in with that. I'm just going to use a little wooden kabuki brush thingy. So I'm just going to put that underneath my eyes and on top of my eyelids just to set them ready for my eyeshadow. I'm just going to put it all over my face because it's quite an oily foundation. I'm just kind of hope that it won't set into my wrinkles or any of my lines on my face. That is very powdery. Nonetheless, it's definitely mattified my face. It's not a bad setting powder. I can't complain. Again, it was £1. What are you gonna do? So the most exciting part is eyeshadow. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with these colours. Obviously, it comes with this little crappy spongy thing. These are the colours I've got to work with. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with the white and just pat it all over my lid. Also, it doesn't help with this palette that all of them are shimmery. I'm then going to go in with this blue here. Seems to be the lightest blue. I'm just going to put that in my crease. Obviously, I'm not expecting this palette to be exceedingly pigmented because, I mean, you get 4, 6, 8, 12 eyeshadows for £1, but nonetheless, I was definitely expecting a little bit more than this. I'm then going to go in with the shade next to it, which is this sort of darker blue colour, more of a true blue. There we go. It might be a little bit of a hit and miss with this palette because this blue seems to have a lot more pigment than the first colour. Still trying to figure out what I'm actually going to do. Okay, I think I'm happy with that blue shade. And they're going to switch brushes, and I'm going to find a smaller one if I can. Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to use one of my mermaid brushes. And I'm going to take this deeper blue here. Again, it's a shimmer, but I'm just going to put that right in the corner just to try and deepen up the edges a little bit. That deeper blue is actually quite pigmented. Maybe it's just the lighter colours that aren't coming off very well because all the slightly deeper shades seem to be paying off quite nicely. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with that fluffy blending brush that I started off with and just blend that out a little bit so there's no harsh lines. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to, if I can find the brush, go in with one of my Real Techniques, what is it called? Accent brushes, the really itty bitty one. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a halo eye because I feel like that is the only thing that is gonna really go with this look because it's already so sparkly. Just a fair warning, guys. Might not happen with all of you, but, or maybe it's just me being a little bit ill, but this foundation is now starting to make my face feel really itchy. That's gone very wrong, but I think that's the best we're gonna get. And then I'm gonna take my Makeup Revolution Flexi double-ended brush, and I'm going to use the flat tip end, and I'm going to go back in with that white that I started off with and mix it with a little bit of the grey, which is this one, and I'm just going to pat it everywhere that I put the concealer on my eye. I mean, all in all, I don't hate this palette. Definitely the lighter shades are a lot more sheer than I was expecting. but then again, it was £1, but the darker colours are definitely decent. And then I'm going to use the other end and just go back in with that blue again. My cut creases and my halo eyes are awful, but it's just the way I prefer to do them. And then finally, just because it's a bit messy anyway, I'm just going to bring it down to where my waterline is on the bottom. I hate doing this part of my makeup because it always makes my eyes water. There we go. That is the mess that I call my eyeshadow look. Hopefully it will improve once I've put some mascara on. But before I move on to mascara, I need to do the rest of my face. So I think we're going to start out with bronzer. This is again from the Poundland range. This is, however, their old, or their slightly older range, which is the Makeup Gallery stuff. I don't know if it has a shade. It just says matte bronzer in shade light to medium, but that looks pretty medium to me. Very warm toned, but hey ho. I'm going back in with that little kabuki brushy thingy. Doesn't feel like any of it's coming off. Let's give it a go. Oh wow, yes it is. So that's definitely darkened up my face a little bit, but it's on my face now, so we've just got to go with it. At least I might look like I've had a nice sunbed before I go to work. Not too bad. And then for contour is from the Sainsbury's range, and it's called the Boutique Bronze and Contour Powder. This one is a little bit of a more fancy one because it does come with a mirror, but it's this kind of shade. This is more cool toned, which is what I usually prefer. Okay, it blends out. Whew! I was about to have a mini meltdown then. I'm just going to bring that up my cheekbones a little bit. I don't use a lot of contour if I've got bronzer on, just because obviously I'm not naturally that tanned. And then I'm going to dip really, really lightly and just do my jawline as well. Obviously you've got to be careful when doing your jawline because you don't want to end up making your face look really muddy. I'm going to leave that there before I overdo it and then make myself look like a Satsuma. Next is blush. This is again by Poundland's Makeup Gallery. This one was the only shade of blush they had. It's very, very pink. Going in with a big fluffy brush from my Mermaid collection again. Tap very lightly to begin with. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing a lot, so be a bit more aggressive now. It's really powdery, obviously because it is powder, but it's stuck to weird places on my cheeks. I'm just going to go in with that little one again and just try and blend it out a little bit. I mean, I'm now starting to notice that it's all starting to stick to that foundation really bad now that the foundation is setting in. The next thing I'm cheating with, because neither Poundland or Sainsbury's had a highlighter, so I'm just going in with my Old Faithful Revolution one. There we go. Right, last we have got mascara and lips. So for mascara, the bit I am most nervous for is the Poundland Turn Up the Volume Define and Volumize Mascara. Let's give this a go. I quite like the wand actually. I'll take it back. It's one of the silicone brushes rather than the ones with like proper hairs on them, which I prefer. I'm going to give this a fair trial because I normally, for my everyday makeup looks, use Primark mascara, which is obviously only about £1.50 to £2, and I love it. However, I'm not gonna lie, for one coat, Poundland, you've actually done a pretty good job. That is what it looks like with one layer. Obviously fair trial, so I will give it a couple of coats because I'm being fair. I'm not gonna lie with this mascara, again it's like the concealer, it's quite hard to get in and out of the tube. Not the best mascara I've tried, but definitely for £1 it is one of the top sort of best value for monies, I think. It's definitely lengthened and it's definitely separated, and it's just generally a very natural but still lengthening mascara, so I'll give that one a good 8 out of 10. And then lastly, we've obviously got to do the lips. They didn't have lip liners, however, Sainsbury's did have 2 bullet lipsticks. One is in a very dark plum colour called Gift of the Gab, and then they've got a true red which is called Paint the Town Red. I mean, I can't decide, I do love a true red, but I also want to do sort of the more purpley plum colour because it's autumn, so I'm just going to show both to you. I'm going to start with the red one. As you can see, it's a very true red. See if I can swatch it. It's very, very creamy. It's definitely a satin finish rather than a matte finish. As you can see, it is a very true red. I mean, it's definitely quite moisturising, which I was quite scared of. Obviously, being a cheap lipstick, I thought it was going to be quite drying. Definitely not one for this makeup look, but it's quite a deep true red, and it's definitely probably going to be one of my new favourites because it's a very nice colour. But without further ado, got to keep with the autumn vibe, so we're going to try the plum colour now. Also, just like to mention, it does transfer a little bit. Don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit on my tooth, but in all fairness, I've had £6 lipsticks that transfer onto your teeth, so it's not too bad. Not gonna lie, that actually was quite difficult to get off, so I definitely think it's going to be one of those lipsticks that will transfer, but it won't come off your lips very easily, so it's probably quite a long wear. And my lips still don't feel dry even after taking it off, so that is always a good sign. Then let's talk about this lovely plum purple colour. That's what it looks like. Definitely a very autumnal colour. So I'm going to apply this. Again, I do not think that this lipstick is best suited for this particular makeup look, but it is definitely a very, very pretty purple. It's not too dark. Still really, really moisturising. Still a satin finish. But yeah, it looks very, very pretty, and this one hasn't transferred, which is a nice surprise. So this is just what this one looks like. So guys, all in all, I think that the Sainsbury's and Poundland makeup was definitely hit or miss. Some things are definitely worth buying and some of them not. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you'd like me to do any more testing videos, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!